Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to continue with the K-pop idols experience through the interpretation as an energetic tarot reading, so we can see through the tarot what it's like, what it feels like from their point of view, from the energetic point of view of a specific subject. And today's topic it's a bit sensitive, so I want you to keep your mind open and just take the interpretation if it resonates with you, and if you think that probably you resonate with the message, and if you don't, just don't click away, don't pay attention. This is a format that I'm also like trying to incorporate. It's new. I have done a few, but it's relative new, and it's kind of an idea of mine, actually, to do this kind of energetic readings of a different, like a general situation or in a scenario, or about a specific subject or role that we probably are not very close to know what it's like, because we are not idols. But I want us to dive a bit into what it's like to be in that situation and in the role, but from an energetic point of view. Let the tarot talk about it. Of course, this is on a general basis, and today it's something that has been happening in K-pop. I believe I'm not like very an expert on K-pop, but I think that ever since I've been into K-pop, or at least the most famous groups, or that are always like in the news or in the media. I think that the subject of bullying, accusations, are like they are mainstream, like they are like somehow they always come up. So I wanted to do this tarot reading based on this subject. This is why I think that it's very it's going to be very general, and at the same time I want you to like keep an open mind, because we are reading energies here. We are not stating facts or anything like that. So the first row that I did, actually, it's about this incident happening. I'm trying not to pronounce that word too often, and not because of fear of actually like someone forbidden me to actually say the word. It's just that energetically it doesn't feel good. It has a lot of heavy energy, very dark energy, so I don't want to actually like pronounce it while I'm reading. It makes me feel really bad inside. So if you read the title, you know what I'm talking about. So the first row is going to be dedicated to this situation happening between idols themselves, between members of a group, or between the industry and the idols. It could be also between staff members or managers or whoever and idols at the same time, people that are from the same industry. So if it was the case of actually this happening with, for example, members of a same group, like a few accusations came out a few years ago, it's like it's becoming actually like more normalized to talk about it nowadays. I think that there has come out there have been people coming out and talking about their experience. Of course, that it can be traumatic, and it's traumatic, and so I want us to be respectful also about it. But from what I can see energetically, the cards that came out, it's the card of Nine of Wands, Ace of Cups, and a Son of Fire, that it would be like Page of Wands. So what I can say, the nine of wands, it's in this deck, it's the card of perfection. So we definitely can see, in a general basis, what generates this tendency to be aggressive toward one another, whether you do it verbally or physically. If a member attacks another member, or if they attack each other, or if someone that works with them attacks or tries to make an idol feel bad about their performances, or about the way they do things, or about the way they are, I think that I can actually resume this in this card, that is the card of perfection. Here I'm not saying that these people that actually do the damage, that these people are innocent. Actually, they're not, because we are always choosing, and there are always people that choose to be kind and to be helpful, and there are other people that just under pressure they turn into little monsters. That's the reality. And I think that this card, the card of the Nine of Wands, that is the card of perfection. It's a card that, if you would ask me what initiates this kind of behavior, it's the need to be perfect. It's the need to, it's the pressure of doing things perfectly, and at the same time of this person, especially the one that initiates the situation, of them feeling themselves as the perfect ones in this dynamic, so they think, or they see themselves as the ones that do everything right, or probably they are in a situation where they are being praised for always getting everything right or doing everything perfectly. So it's like it adds up to their ego and to their self-image. It distortionates a bit their self-image, in the sense that they think that they are the perfect ones, and the member or the people that works with them is not according to their standards. It's doing something wrong. Then they start with the attacks, or they start with trying to diminish the efforts of this person, turning this person into a victim. So I think that also here, with the Ace of Cups and this Son of Fire, it also has to do with not being able to fulfill your emotional needs, in the sense that probably you have a lot of emotions, but there's no room for you to express these emotions, in the sense that when you are in this process of actually trying to be famous, or actually trying your group to be the best, or trying to that you are putting all your effort into this dream, somehow you become emotionless. You become more practical. You become more like obsessive with results. So you are so fearful of messing up or making a mistake, that you, instead of you doing a self-evaluation of yourself and your own abilities, you start seeing the member that is next to you, probably, or someone that you feel that it's in their perception that it's weaker. And probably this has to do with emotions. If one of the members it's been emotional, or it's been sensitive, or it's been like you can sense that they are a bit like soft, maybe you see them as this weak link, that could actually destroy all the work that you had built. So they put themselves into this superiority kind of complex, where they are like, oh yes, I am the perfect one, and this person that is crying because it's stressed, it's going to ruin things for me. So this is why I respond to this person this way. So I think that if we were thinking about this situation happening between members, I think that this is not that the person, the attacker, it's actually someone that was born that way, or that had always been that way, or that their whole life they acted this way. They actually turn out to be that way because they are like in a survival mode. That when the entertainment industry, especially in the system that they work in, it's like a jungle, and you need to survive because there are a lot of people waiting for you to mess up so they can take your place. So the competition is really high. This is why the Page of Wands is here, because actually it's not about greed. It's not about you actually I don't know, it's not about that you want to be that way. It's just that pressure does this awful effect. It's like a side effect of fame. It turns people against each other because actually it kind of works because sometimes people in power do this. They somehow build this kind of like rivalry, like favoritism, and then people involved start getting very sensitive because everyone wants to be the best or favorite. So if you see someone that probably is not going through a good moment emotionally because, I don't know, because they miss their family, or because they are going through some emotional issue, or because pressure is just breaking them, then it's like these people, instead of helping, or instead of doing something to help this member, or this co-worker, because they're working, instead of helping them overcome the obstacles and feel better about themselves and the performance, they keep like, it's like they keep putting this person down and blaming this person, like a scapegoat, blaming them for all the horrible things that happens. Like, oh yes, like we mess up the choreography because you didn't pay attention. Oh yes, we fail at this because you again did something wrong. It's like picking always on the same person, and from this place of insecurity at the same time. This is what I want you to understand, that sometimes these attackers are not the perfect ones, actually. It's just that they are so fearful of you actually noticing that they are probably much more weaker than you think. So they want to turn the situation over in their favor. They want to turn, instead of you paying attention to their errors, they want to see your errors first, or your faults first, so they can point it out for you. So while they are pointing out on you or they are blaming you for something, you are ignoring that they are failing too, or that they are a failure too. Because like I said, they have this superiority complex, like they definitely think that they are the ones that do everything right. But I think that these people or this dynamic in a group is not that it started like this from day one, or that this person just was part of this group or of this industry being that way. No, it's just that the pressure of having to be perfect is what drove them to this. Generally, I'm not saying that all the cases are the same. This is what I'm picking. So let's see the other situation. The other situation is the situation of actually this kind of attacker, quote unquote attacker. I don't know if it's the word in English is attacker or attackant, but you know what I'm referring to. This person doing harm, it's actually been accused of doing this in when they weren't famous, probably like because you know that this situation often occurs in high schools or in schools. So here we are talking about this scenario. What happens with these accusations to these idols about their high school years or when they were younger, the way they behaved toward their fellow students or people they went to school with. So in this case, we have the Hierophant, we have the Magician, and we have the Page of Cups. So in this case, since the Hierophant it's the first one here, I would say that if you would ask me what generates this kind of behavior or situations, it's the institution, actually. So you see a pattern here. In the case of idols against idols or members against members, it's about them wanting to be perfect or them being told to be perfect. So they break under pressure and they start attacking each other or attacking the weakest. In the case of, while they are not famous, but they are students, but at the same time they could be trainees when they were younger. And here it points to the institution that in this case it could be the school themselves, in the sense that the school could have a bit of a fault and a bit of responsibility about the way they treat the students. Probably, and when I read this site, I was like, oh, I understand. I think that in this case, it's about looks. I know it sounds awful, but it is. Even though they are not famous yet, some of them, the fact that you have some kind of power, talent, influence over others, it could be that you are from a rich family or that you have good looks, actually positions them in a place of getting away with a lot of things. And actually also the school wanting to be famous because of having a famous or a trainee or someone that is part of a very successful group, or they just love fame. They are people that are very involved and are very connected, and they are always like obsessed with fame, with idols, with famous people. So if they see someone that could potentially be one of these idols in the future, or not even idol, just actor or someone famous or an athlete or whatever, they they just actually, I don't think they interfere at all, because I think that they are not really good at interfering. They are really good at looking elsewhere. And here I'm talking about the adults, the teachers, the ones that are responsible. I don't see actually nor the idol nor the other students. I don't see them like being the main reason. I think that this has to do with the institution, and how they look the other way whenever they just don't get involved. And it's very frustrating actually to see it here, because next to this we have the card of the magician. So you know that the magician, it's a card that talks about you being in power, and you knowing that you have a lot of tools and you have a lot of skills, and that you are that you can transform your reality or your circumstances in whatever way you want to. So I think that this has to do with looks. Because this situation happens in all schools, we know this, but especially here, since we are talking about idols, I think that appearance is very important. The media is really important. And I think that actually I don't see the accusations being that real. Because here with the magician and the page of cups is telling me that not all of the victims, but there are people that had made accusation against famous people that actually the majority, not all of them, but the majority were made up. And they were made up in order to, yes, to ruin this person's career. And it's based and it's done because of jealousy and envy. And this happens because of the exposure of these people, these famous people, or this idol, or this actress, or this actor. It's like when you have when you are resented, or when you feel resentful against someone, and you, I don't know, years pass by and you see them on TV, and you are like, oh, you get so angry because you never liked them, or because, I don't know, you didn't have a good relationship, and you just don't like them. I see a lot of envy here, honestly, and I see it a lot of grudge coming from the fact that they see this, that they have to see this idol or these famous people everywhere. And the fact that they have so many supporters, they have so many people praising them, I think that it boils their blood. And it comes from a place, because the page of cups is very emotional. So it comes from a place of feeling negative emotions. This is why I think that it's jealousy. Because it's like you feel tempted to say something about it just because you see them everywhere and you want them to stop. You don't want to see their faces in the TV or in the phone, you know, in the ads, in publicities. You just don't want to see them because you cannot stand them. You cannot stand their exposure and their status of quote unquote idols or celebrities. So you want to bring them down. So you want to do something to bring them down. And it also, since it's the page of cups, it talks about a very deep wound inside the people that make these accusations. And it talks about their struggle with self-esteem, with self-love. Here, when I'm saying this, it's not. I'm not talking about the cases that that are actually confirmed to be true, but I'm talking about. I'm seeing a lot of manipulation in the. I'm seeing manipulation here. So, and I'm seeing that this is not. This is like a chain effect. It's like one thing affects the other. And since the Hierophant here, it's in the first place, I think that it has to do with the community, the society, the education system. Because it's like, I have the feeling that I don't know why, but there are so much feelings of regular people comparing them to idols or to famous people. And not only regular people with regular jobs, I'm talking about people with power, especially people with, I don't know, people that had worked their whole lives they have their own business, or probably people that are doctors or lawyers, very successful lawyers. But I see them like, even though they are successful in their own field, at the same time they cannot help but feel envious of the idols or the celebrities or the actors or these people that appear on TV. There's something about the physical attributes. There's something about the way they dress, the way they dance. There's a lot of complex in this, I believe, in this kind of society that they live. I think that their values are not very positive. I think that it puts a lot of effort, a lot of, not effort, a lot of pressure on regular people about their appearance and about their circumstances. Because that sometimes television and sometimes the media, they portray these people as perfect. So I think there's something about them that they actually want to be perfect themselves, or they are always looking what idols are wearing, or what kind of nose they have, if they are tall, what kind of brands they're using. It's like they try so hard. It's like this need to be like them, but at the same time feeling like you cannot be like them, feeling like as if you are some kind of alien, and they are like gods and you are just a regular person, And this is why I think that I see this sense of envy, of jealousy, also of looking at these I don't know, award shows, wherever, and being like, oh my God, they are living the life that I wish I would be living, or they are living their glamorous life is something I will never have. But I don't think it's about material wealth. I think it's about appearance. Honestly, guys, this is what I see here. It's about feeling the ugly duckling, you feeling like their standard of beauty is something that you can never achieve. And it doesn't matter how much you try or how much money you put into yourself. It's like it's very realistic, and at the same time this is why it triggers so many insecurities in the public, like this kind of love hate, or this kind of, oh yes, I admire you, but deep in down myself I also hate you because you represent everything that I'm not, or that I will never be. and also here, if we see the magician, it means that it also it's the media's fault. It's the it's because it's like it's everywhere. So I think that these people sometimes have this strong fear of hate or envy, because it's like it's everywhere you look. It's like it's full of idol stuff, or or it's like everywhere. So you're like when you are not like that, or when this is not part of your reality, or probably you try so hard and you never made it, there's a bit of resentment. So this is why I think that also the Sesangs and all these people trying to sometimes sabotage in some way these idols' security somehow, or lives, or routines, is because of this resentment. It's because of this kind of very strong emotion. This is why I related to envy and jealousy, because I see them like being really jealous. Like I never like knew that this was, but the feeling of jealousy is very strong here. So I don't know if maybe the way they express strong emotions is by feeling this kind of love hate kind of thing. But yes, it's not, and this is what I see for both situations. And like I said, it's not for everyone. So of course that there are cases where there had been victims, and unfortunately this is a very delicate subject. And like I said at the beginning, if the institutions don't fix this from the early years of education, instead of them promoting them to actually always praise the beautiful and the talented, or the rich, I think that they need to change their values. They need to change their values, because I think that since everything is so mainstream right now, I think that it's driving it's driving people crazy. It's like igniting a kind of volcano inside of people that actually is not very positive. Because, and actually it's not also positive for people that are famous, because they could be also be involved in very dangerous situations because of these people that are like that they consume this. And I'm not talking about people that consume K-pop. I'm talking about people that just live their regular lives, and like this lifestyle, it's everywhere. Like, oh yes, you need the new pairs of shoes that this K-pop idol is wearing. You need to have the nose because like this K-pop idol. You need to be as thin as the K-pop. Like it's very different for maybe for us, or some people that we live in different cultures, or we are very far away. So even though we could potentially go to visit there, maybe yes, we could go and see the culture, and get immersed in their culture and having fun a bit. But then we will go back to our countries, and but I think that there's like a lot of strong emotions here, that I think that this society needs to heal somehow, because there's like, I think that this had been happening for so long, that actually I think that the audience is also very tired of the idol status. Probably, I don't know, there had been like a lot of situations where famous people got away with a lot of things. So this is why I think that the resentment and the jealousy and the not so positive emotion is here. So this is all I have for this energetic reading, guys. I would love to hear from you for what your point of view, what you have to what you think about this. What would you think that is the solution to this? And I would appreciate your feedback. Please always stay respectful. Remember that this is like this is a speculation. This is a tarot reading. Don't take it seriously if it doesn't resonate with you. This is what I read, what the cards telling me. So I hope I was able that you could understand a bit what I was reading. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. I will see you in the next video. Bye.